Brian Ken, and you're watching Celt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. Well, it's that time of year again. That's right, it's Christmas time. And everyone's making their own special desserts, and I'm going to make my own. That's right, I'm going to make you a Yule Log. Now, what's a Yule Log, I hear you ask? Well, it's very simple. It's, well, you're just going to have to watch to find out, aren't you?
I'll not lie to you, I'm not very good with cakes and desserts. Cooking isn't art, but as long as you dinna foul the bed, you can pass your dish off with something creative and edible. Desserts, however, are chemistry, and everything has to be done perfectly. Fortunately, a Yule Log is a cake, and it is very cheap to make. Alright, so we're going to start by pouring 2 cups of heavy cream into a bowl. We'll also be adding a half cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. We'll then be adding a half cup of powdered or confectioner sugar to the mix, and add a wee bit of vanilla for flavouring. Beat the mixture with a heavy whisk until that liquid takes on a frosting-like texture. Takes a wee bit of time, but gives you a chance to build up those forearm muscles. After about 5 minutes it starts to look like this. Good job! Now put that in the fridge and forget about it. We've got to crack some eggs. Right, so we're going to separate the yellow stuff from the clear stuff. Can you see that? We've got a crack down the middle, and we're just going to start passing it back and forth between the two. And we're going to put the yolks in one bowl and the whites in another. Here's a better angle. Crack in the middle, separate the two. We're going to put our egg white into our best bowl and our egg yolks into our second best bowl, like so. Alright, we're going to use a standing mixture. You can use a handheld electric variety, but that requires more concentration and effort. First, to mix our egg yolks. Now this isn't the bowl that came with the mixer, but it'll do in a pinch. Alright, now as the mixer is blending, we're going to add a half cup of regular sugar to the yolks. We're going to let that stir around for a wee bit until it thickens and gets a wee bit pale. Now I don't have a gram blender, so I have to rotate the bowl around a lot with my hands and use a spoon to get at the sides, just like so, to make sure everything gets blended. Do what you got to do, but get it blended. When it starts to thicken, we're going to add a third cup of cocoa powder. Watch out for the dust cloud that inevitably is going to form. Use your spoon again to try to get everything nice and blended. Just like that. It's looking good. Now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla for flavouring, as well as our salt. It sounds off, but desserts need salt. About an 1/8 teaspoon. That looks just like a proper batter. When it gets nice and thick and blended, you can eject your blenders. And if you've got a wean around, you can have them lick the blenders. Give that to the kid at this point. Set the bowl aside, because now we need to blend our egg whites. Okay, egg whites are really complicated to get right. Apparently the longer you whisk them, the firmer the mixture gets, and we've aimed for something called a soft peak stage of blending. I don't know if it's right, but it took about 10 minutes and I'm getting impatient. When they start to form that soft peak, we're going to add our 1/4 cup of regular sugar and let that blend around a wee bit. And now we're going to let it blend until it forms what's called stiff peaks, which I figure should take another 5 minutes or so. I'm not really sure. I don't know if that's right, but we need to keep moving. So we're going to add our cocoa batter into the mix at this point. Just like so. It's very thick, so you have to use your spoon to get it all out. Like that. And then use a spoon again to make sure everything blends proper like. That's right. Now, as that blends, I need to find a cookie sheet and some parchment paper so that the batter doesn't stick to the pan. I don't have any. But some aluminium foil should do in a pinch. Good. It looks like a proper batter. Put that onto your pan and put that into the preheated oven that is set to 375 degrees. Good. Let that cook for about 12 to 15 minutes. Your cake should be nice and springy to the touch when it's done. Flip the pan onto a clean dish towel that's been sprinkled with the confectioner sugar. And then we're going to pull the pan off. Do it carefully because it's very hot right now. Right, just like so. We're going to use a spatula to try and pry it off like so. Very nice. Alright, now we're going to peel off the aluminium foil. Or in your case, you should use parchment paper. And then we're just going to roll the... Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, that's not right. No, that's not good at all. Oh, look at that. It's burnt. Oh, I can't serve that. Crap.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you learned something. Specifically, I hope you learned that this is not a cake. This isn't even edible. Well, I tried. Unfortunately, I still have a party to get to. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but they're already starting to go to the next door. Fortunately, you always have to have a plan B. In my case, plan B is actually a plan C. A Cabernet Sauvignon. Is that right, Jacques? Aye. He's giving the middle finger thumbs up. You're watching Celt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. And remember, just because your recipe failed doesn't mean you failed. As long as you got enough liquor to make sure that the people you failed don't realise it was a failure.